level, TetraMap is a behaviour model. And so it talks about the fact that we have preferences. But using a metaphor of nature, we talk about 4 elements: earth, air, water and fire. But the key is that we all have all 4 elements. We tend to have a preference for 1 or 2, and for some of us we may have a preference for 1 or 2 in one situation and a different preference somewhere else. So if you're a manager at work, you might be really decisive at earth and sort things out. At home, you might be the nurturing one in the family that sorts out all the family quarrels and makes sure nobody's left out. And so a lot of the learning is about how can we bring out the elements or the behaviour that's appropriate for the situation. So it's a very instinctive model, and I've been working with it for over 10 years now, as I was confessing to Haddo before. Like, when you're involved in this sort of thing, you get to be a bit of a junkie. Well, these things, I just love them, and I always have loved them, and I've lost count how many I have been trained in, and I have learned something from them all. But I must admit, for me, TetraMap resonates really well, probably because I'm quite simple and I like things that are simple and people understand easily. And I also, in my work, I really like things that people walk out the door with something that's useful for them. Something that will change, resolve conflict or improve their team or make them a better manager. And we find if people do a half-day workshop in the morning, they're using it in the afternoon. If the whole company does it, they kind of suddenly create this language, which is great. So in terms of it being memorable, and I think again this is why this model really works, because it's not ever putting any one of these elements at the opposite side to another. And I liked that, because I always thought I'm more than one of those. What it does really, really simply is enables people to understand that there is more than one way of looking at things. So great for resolving conflict. And this enables people to see that quickly and easily. It gets you away from I'm right, you're wrong. It's just you see it differently. There's another way of looking at it. So we do talk about the fact that each element, like nature, if you have too much of it, does have a pointy bit. So earth, being strong and decisive, pointy bit that can come across as a little bit blunt with others, because they don't want to waste up all the time with all the fluffy stuff, because it doesn't matter. Air can come across as a little bit critical, because you were wrong, so we'll tell you. Water can come across as a little bit hesitant, because they like to check things, and fire can come across as a little bit easily distracted and a bit flippant. So there's a really brief snapshot. When we take people through a workshop, there is a whole workbook and people do an instrument, but it still is only a 10-minute instrument. And again, I have taken thousands of people through this now. I still cannot believe, and some of you would share that, how accurate it is for such a simple little thing. And it's not pretending to be anything other than an intuitive model.